Hi, so today we have St Bridgets Kirk. Now, this is our red label variant, which is a blend. So that means that it includes components of grain and components of malt. Typically, when we acquire St Bridgets Kirk, we get it in lots of different styles of casks. This arrived in a butt. Sometimes St Bridgets Kirk or blends can arrive in anything from hogsheads to jerry cans to IBCs. However, this arrived in a butt. It was bottled at 44.1% and there was 514 bottles. So it's been married together for a substantial amount of time. It's called St Bridgets Kirk because St Bridgets Kirk is actually near us here in Dalgety Bay. And there's two other varieties of St Bridgets. There's a blue label, which is blended malt, and there's a Sleda system, which is a tawny colour. But this is the red label. And this is what's come out in the current outrun.
Yeah, bringing blends back to the fore. Obviously, we're not talking about the basic blended whiskies that make up the majority of Scotch sold around the world. This has obviously been put aside for a well-aged blend, managed to escape the warehouses and find its way into our hands, where we bottled it straight from the refill butt. So, as you mentioned, yeah, it would have been married a long time ago. The three component parts that we're aware of what's in here are the grain being Portland Das, along with malts from Macallan and Tobermory. Blended when they were young, allowed to marry in a refill butt for most of its life. So refill butt, but we can definitely pick up some of those classic sherry notes that are coming through from that as well. Yeah, very, very easy to drink. Again, the art of blending that should be where you've got the component parts, where the sum is better than the individual components. But yeah, really nice summer garden whiskey. Not too complex, because everything's working well together, but very, very easy to drink, lots of tropical fruits. A little touch of smoke in there as well. I don't know if that's just my imagination or whether, these older distillates maybe had a little bit of smoke in their profile back then. But yeah, again, in that dangerous whiskey category at 44.1%, very easy to drink and a nice sipping whiskey.
Yeah, so mellow, although Paul hates that tasting note, I would say it's quite mellow. Everything's well married together. Citrus fruit, I would say, rather than tropical fruit. There is a richness to it as well, which has been sort of dialed down as everything's married together. So actually, the more you drink it, the more you quaff it, it's more complex. I mean, we enjoy putting quite a lot of tasting notes on these labels because we've got more space. So we've gone for marmalade, oak spice, ginger, vanilla, and creme brulee. So it's really classic tasting notes there for a blend.
Yeah, I don't mind mellow so much as smooth. If you said smooth, you'd be wearing that whiskey right now, but you got away with that one there. So